There's a quiet moment that happens almost every day. You sit down with a plan, a goal, something you swore you were finally going to change, and then nothing. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because something inside you gently whispers, "Not now. Tomorrow is safer." And you listen. What if I told you that this voice, the one that pulls you back into scrolling, procrastinating, staying the same, is not your enemy? What if it's your mind doing exactly what it was designed to do? Because the truth is uncomfortable. Your mind doesn't love growth. It loves comfort. And once you see why, you'll never look at your habits or yourself the same way again. Most people believe that progress is about motivation, that if you wanted it badly enough, you'd wake up earlier, work harder, stay disciplined. But that belief quietly destroys people. Because when motivation fades, and it always does, you don't question the system. You question your worth. You think, why am I like this? Why can't I just do what I know I should? Why does everyone else seem capable of change, except me? Here's the truth no one tells you. Your mind is not built for progress. It's built for survival. And survival doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about keeping you unchanged. Your brain was shaped hundreds of thousands of years ago. Back then, comfort wasn't indulgence. Comfort was safety. Familiar environments meant fewer predators. Predictable routines meant fewer surprises. Staying the same meant staying alive. So your brain learned a powerful rule. Familiar means safe. Unknown means dangerous. That rule still runs your life today. Even though the threats are different, even though the world has changed, your mind still treats change as risk, growth as instability, progress as potential loss. So when you try to start a new habit, leave a toxic relationship, or pursue a bigger life, your brain doesn't celebrate. It panics. Comfort doesn't scream. It whispers. It sounds reasonable, logical, even wise. Rest today. You've had a long week. You'll do better when you're in a better mood. Why rush? You've got time. And that's why comfort wins, because it doesn't feel like self-sabotage. It feels like self-care. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Comfort doesn't protect your future. It protects your familiar suffering. Your mind would rather choose a pain it recognizes than a possibility it can't predict. There's a psychological phenomenon that explains this perfectly. Humans prefer known pain over unknown improvement. You might hate your job, but you understand it. You might feel lonely, but at least it's familiar loneliness. You might feel unfulfilled, but it's a predictable emptiness. Growth asks you to step into uncertainty, and uncertainty feels like danger to a survival-based brain. So your mind asks a brutal question: what if we try and fail? But it hides an even deeper fear. What if we succeed and lose who we are? Your habits are not the problem. Your identity is. At some point in your life, you silently decided who you are. I'm not disciplined. I'm bad at consistency. I always quit. I'm just not that kind of person. These thoughts don't feel dramatic. They feel factual. But your brain treats identity like law. Anything that threatens it feels unsafe, even if it would make your life better. So when you try to change, your mind resists not because it's hard, but because it threatens who you believe you are. Progress feels like psychological death, and your brain's job is to prevent that at all costs. Here's something rarely discussed. Progress requires emotional energy. Not just time, not just discipline, energy. Comfort conserves energy. Growth spends it. So when you're mentally exhausted, emotionally drained, or overwhelmed, your mind doesn't ask what would improve your life. It asks what will cost the least right now. And comfort always wins that calculation. Scrolling is cheaper than reflection. Avoidance is cheaper than confrontation. Numbness is cheaper than courage. This is where most people make a fatal mistake. They fight comfort with aggression. They shame themselves. Why am I so weak? Why can't I just push through? I hate myself for this. But shame doesn't create progress. It creates more comfort-seeking. Because shame drains energy, and drained minds don't grow. They hide. Your mind retreats further into comfort, not because it's lazy, but because it's wounded. Here's the paradox. The mind chases comfort to feel safe, but long-term comfort creates anxiety. Staying the same slowly suffocates you. You feel restless, disconnected, quietly dissatisfied, not because something is wrong with you, but because something inside you knows you're capable of more. That inner tension you feel is not failure, it's potential pressing against comfort. One of the biggest illusions you've been sold is this: I'll change when I feel ready. But readiness is a comfort emotion. Progress begins in discomfort, not dramatic pain. Just mild resistance, a quiet, I don't want to. And here's the shift. Progress isn't about defeating comfort. It's about outgrowing it gently. Real growth doesn't mean living in constant struggle. It means redefining what feels safe. When discomfort becomes familiar, it stops feeling dangerous. The brain doesn't hate effort, it hates uncertainty. So progress comes from small, repeatable exposures to discomfort, not transformation. Familiarity. Your mind learns through evidence, not motivation speeches, not promises. Evidence. Every small action that contradicts your old identity whispers, maybe we're not who we thought. And slowly, resistance weakens. Comfort shifts. What once felt impossible becomes neutral, then easy, then automatic. Let's go deeper. Under comfort is a fear few people admit. If I try my best and still fail, what does that say about me? Comfort protects you from that question. As long as you don't fully try, your potential stays intact in theory. Progress risks exposing limits, and that vulnerability terrifies the ego. Growth isn't heroic, it's subtle. It looks like starting before you feel ready, continuing without inspiration, showing up imperfectly. No transformation montage, no overnight change, just quiet repetition. Your mind is not broken, it's cautious. You don't need to overpower it, you need to reassure it. Show it slowly that growth is not death, that discomfort is survivable, that progress doesn't erase you, it expands you. One day you'll notice something strange. The things you once avoided won't feel so heavy anymore. Not because life got easier, but because your comfort zone moved, and you'll realize something quietly profound. Your mind never hated progress. It just needed proof that you would be safe becoming someone new. And the moment you stop fighting your mind and start understanding it, that's when real change begins. Not loudly, not dramatically, but deeply. And once it starts, it doesn't stop.